I'll take you through the scriptures. I felt it's not a Christian gathering, but I'm happy that it is because that's my turf actually. I love being there. But I'll try not to bore you with too many scriptures. Let's just get the nuggets and be out of here. So what is purpose? Well, you can't talk about purpose without talking about the Creator. Because everything has a purpose, and the purpose of a thing is not given by itself. The purpose of a thing is given by the manufacturer. So someone sat down and said, okay, maybe a time will soon come, we need to address plenty people at once. So let's make something that can amplify someone's voice. And that brought about the making of a microphone. Right? So, the purpose of a microphone is not in the microphone himself or itself, it's with the manufacturer. So, if the mic lands in our church or in our gathering, then I decide to carry 2 microphones and start beating drums. Will it make a sound? Yes, it will sound. I can drum with this, right? But tell me what will happen to this microphone? Somebody. Yes, ma'am? It will get damaged. Another person. Something will go wrong with the microphone. It will break. It will stop working and all that. You know why? If the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. Abuse is abuse, abnormal use outside what it's been created for. So, you need to know that you are a product. Now face someone next to you and tell the person like you mean it, you are a product. Find someone else who you think is more serious and tell the person you are a product. And it's necessary for you to know that, see, purpose precedes a product. Purpose goes ahead, goes before a product. Purpose precedes a product. So, what the product will do is first consulted before coming to the lab to make the product. Do you understand what I'm saying? What the product will do is first visited. So we want to make something that would look like this, act like this, be like this, and function this way. When we consult with the checklist of what this thing is meant to do, then we come into the lab and start putting it together. So, we needed a phone that is not wired. Right? How many of you know wired phones? Man, it was a serious stuff that time. We had this one that you have to turn. Then my father would lock it. Then we learned this thing called tapping. Tap, 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 tap. If you did it, say, oh my God, I'm feeling old here. Okay. No wala. So, the world had to change. So we needed something easy to carry, easy to hold, easy to use. Then we had some very funny phones, 3310, Nokia. Very heavy, you have to press. Then to get JKL, you have to press, if you want to get L, you press it 3 times. Man, that was serious stress. No wonder we had high blood pressure those days. But now, after a while, they said, no, let us take those things out and just make it easy to press. You see, those things were consulted before we had all the iPhones, all the Infinix, that are now sleek, easy to carry, easy to hold, easy to lose, easy to break, easy. Because of the purpose It is to achieve. Now listen, it's making, its process, its design, its functionality was put together. Its making, its process, its design, and its functionality. So if you are a product, okay, made for a purpose, you need to critically know that you're making. Many of you don't, many people, don't let me say many of you, many people don't like their parents or how they were raised. But in the maker's mind, you needed to go through that place to be what he wants you to be. I have seen rich, senseless children. I have seen poor, sensible children. I've been mentoring teenagers for 17 years. So I have seen all kinds. And I've seen also that, see, it is not the product in itself. It is the process. So a product is not faulty in itself. We don't have faulty products. We have what? Faulty processes. So something is defective. Something went wrong in its process. Your making is critical. Number two, the process. Number three, your design. I won't say anything about design because he's here. And when he comes up, you will see how your design tells you where you are meant to go. Only human beings want to be jack of all trades. A fish does not struggle to swim. Its nature, its design, its make will tell you where it will function and function well. I've met students who can dance but cannot do 2 times 4. How many people struggle with math here? All liars will relocate somewhere. Math. But the same person struggling with math can sit down with novel 3 hours. Because there's something in his or her making that permits that to happen naturally. So what are those natural things that come to you? You need to consider that. Design. Number 4, functionality. How you function. He will also talk about that. I won't say anything about that. He's coming up. When I heard he would be here, so I shifted my own message to decide that he can function too. But this is it. And I'm getting into the crux of my discourse today. What is life? Before we talk about the purpose of life, what is life itself? If this were to be a class, I'll go around with the microphone and ask. But since I have 30 minutes, from my own research, if you Google, you will see all kinds of stuff. But please don't Google. Let's think. I'll define life as a continuum. A continuum between birth and death. Life is what? A continuum. That line is not straight, it's uneven. It's ever meandering, it's not straight. But yet it continues. From birth to what? To death. So when a person dies, life ends. So what's the difference between life and living? So life is the continuum between birth and death. Okay? But living is the summary of all activities from the day you were born to the day you die. So a lot of people have life but don't understand living. The essence of purpose is life, and the essence of living is purpose. Can I say that again? The essence of purpose is what? Life. Because you wouldn't have life if there was nothing you were meant to come and solve. Right? The reason we have products is because there's something the product should come and do. So the essence of life is purpose. Purpose is the essence of life, and the essence of living is to live according to that purpose that's been set for you. You need to understand that. So, how do I navigate? How do I find my purpose? How do I know? How do I know? But before I get there, God launched me into this thing called purpose at 3 critical points in my life. But the one that stands out for me every time was the first kick that God gave me. I was 10 years old. We were the youngest in the class. And on a Friday, I left school. And on a Monday, I came back after the assembly, and everybody was looking at me weirdly. Nobody could tell me that my friend, who was equally 10 years old, died over the weekend. And I was like, he died? He's just 10 years old. He died. I saw him on Friday. He walked me to the bus stop. And on Monday, he's dead. We sat down together. So I looked at his locker. His books were there. But he was no more. And from that early age, I started searching for what this life is really meant to be about. Because of my search, I didn't live like my mates lived. I didn't care, I didn't bother, I didn't mind, let them call me names. I am after something that many of them don't even have a clue about. And over 30 years, almost 40 years now, we can see the difference. I didn't follow the things every one of them followed. I didn't go to the places they went. I was after something different. That encounter taught me a few things. Number one, my life is a gift. My time has to be used properly. Because he who gave me the breath can take it anytime. The challenge is we don't know where. A very dear friend of mine lost his wife recently. And I was shocked to my core. How old is she? How? I saw her here looks as though many of us get to death before we have moments of clarity. So the question is, God forbid, but someone tells you you have 30 days left. Today is June 1. And you have 30 days left on earth. Will you still live your life the way you are living it? How come it's death that brings clarity? But God taught me that you can strategically gain clarity. You can live your life on intentionalism and essentialism. Essentialism is the disciplined pursuit of less. Some of you are into everything. You are everywhere. There is no disciplined pursuit of just the less. Just that thing heaven has made you to be. You want to be in vogue. You want everyone to know you. You want to be cool. You don't want to be ostracized. You have to get to that point where you can pursue less. Because less is always better. Who agrees with me? Some of you are using the small money you have to recharge your phones, to stay on WhatsApps and WhatsApp groups, to communicate with people that really do not care about you. You use the money you don't have to impress the people that don't care and have a result that does not matter. You need to pursue intentionality and essentialism, a disciplined pursuit of less. So, then why is it that people don't live purposeful lives? Number one, some are clueless. Somebody say clueless. They don't know. For those people, I'll give them one knock. Because you can know. So the clueless people don't know. They are just living their lives. You are permitted to be clueless at some point. But you shouldn't be clueless forever. So those days they will say a fool at 40 is a fool forever. In these days, you know, things are faster now and they are shorter. Okay? A fool at 18 is what? It's difficult for you to find yourself. That's why someone said, why are you always after teenagers? I said, see, when you miss it, at that point, it takes a miracle or a serious life encounter. Those C, I call them C, those significant emotional experiences that will make you see. Do you understand what I'm saying? Something that will happen to you that will shake you to your core. It takes such things to jolt you back to your senses. So I'm always after teenagers and young people. And I'm blessed. God has given me this stature. I'll be young forever. I'm a father of 3. Yeah. You need to understand that you cannot be clueless forever. So if you are here and you are still clueless, I need a monitor. Let me give them two knocks. You cannot be clueless. Why is it that people don't follow their purpose? Why is it that they don't pursue their purpose? Number one, cluelessness. Number two, careless, indifferent. Now you know, but you don't care. Right? Maybe I should start identifying people here. You know your purpose, but you have not done anything about it. Can we be sincere in the house? You know, but you have not started doing anything about it. You'll find yourself here. Some people don't know they are clueless. If you are clueless and you're in the university, the question is, how did you pick your career in the first place? Don't be like me. You can be running the wrong direction very fast. Speed is not a true test of direction. You can be going the wrong way fast. So I graduated at 21. with geology and mineral sciences. I have a master's degree in exploration geophysics. I was working in oil and gas. And that was when it dawned on me that, guy, what's your business with oil? The oil you need is on your inside. Why are you inside one rock? You're looking for rock. I'm never in the town. I was never in the town. I said I'm offshore. Inside one creek with those militants. I saw them. It's not news. And it took another significant emotional experience. One day I found myself in their midst, and they surrounded my boat with guns. And they poured crude on the water that if I moved, they will light it up. Crude takes at least 7 hours to burn. And I told myself, guy, what did you find for years? Who said you message? See, you cannot be clueless because you don't have time. If there's anything you can take home today, remember that you don't have time. That should give you a sense of urgency. Like, car. So since secondary school days, I slept 3 hours. My friend did not understand. My friends couldn't get it. 3 hours a day. When I got married, it was the first issue my wife had. She would sleep before me, wake up to go and wee. She would meet me on the table. Then probably I came to the bed. And before she finally wakes up, she meets me again on the same table. I'm like, and she was like, what is wrong? You don't sleep. Urgency. Imagine you have an exam and it's like a 6 credit or 8 credit course, and somehow you slept. Hello? You slept. It's a 3-hour paper. You slept 2 hours in the hostel. Then someone came and woke you up. Like God has sent me to wake you up. Woke you up. Manuel. Don't you have paper? Then now wake up. Hello? Who understands what I'm saying? You now wake up and run to the hall. Then somehow grace covered you, they gave you your paper to start and continue. Will you be writing at the same speed with your neighbor who started the paper with them? Hello, talk to me. Will you guys be writing at the same speed? No. Everything has to start flowing. That's not the time to hook. Then you write and start writing. Talk. Urgency. Why? It comes from understanding the fact that you have lost time. You see this thing that makes us relax as though I still have time. I get time. I am just 20. And they are relaxed. One elderly woman told me something I'll never forget. He said, son, how do you cook a living frog? A frog that is alive, how do you cook it? I said, you put it inside hot water. I said, no. As it's touching the water, it will jump out. I said, so how do you kill it? He said, you put it inside cold water. Let it swim a little inside the cold water. Then after a while, put fire under its bum. It will still be swimming. It will change from cold to warm. From warm to hot. Hot, you don't dumb. As funny as that may sound, we're in life and it's cold water. Oh, 13, I got time. Oh, 15, 16, I got time. Oh, 18. I just caught 21. There's still time. There's a lot of time, man. Let's just do some Snapchat. You got time, right? Let's do some selfie here. We got time. Instagram, Slay Queen. We got time. Then boom, 37. How would you react at that point? You need to understand that you don't have time. So one, you don't have time to be clueless about your purpose. Number two, you don't have time to be indifferent, to be careless about your purpose. So your one is probably they told you through prophecy or through something, or God just encountered you somehow, or they did a profiling for you, and now you know, and you are indifferent, you are just careless, you are gap time. You don't have time to be careless. Number three, you don't have time to be directionless. The labor of the fool wearieth them, for they know not how to enter the city. You don't have time to not to have direction, not to know how to do it. That's why we have coaches, we have mentors. I run Mega Life Academy. In Mega Life Academy, what we do is life clarity. Come and know, and come and learn how to do it. You don't have time not to know how. I know, and I'm trying. I met a young lady. Told me 2 years before then that she wanted to start her salon. And I saw her 2 years later. I was in the city, and I was like, I was excited. How far with your hair salon? Have you started? He said, no, I'm waiting for capital. And I lost it. She was holding 2 phones, one Techno, one Infinix. I know how, because we grew up together. Okay, so she had chain on her neck, rings on her hand, and earrings, and she doesn't wear anything that is not gold. So I looked at her, I said, look at you. Shadi, look at you. You are wearing your capital. And you will not start. It's not a question of not knowing what to do anymore. You care enough to tell people that, yeah, give me capital now, go give me money. But even the first move for you to make, you are not ready to do it. You don't have time to be directionless. You need to know how. You need to know how. When a woman is pregnant and is about to give birth, she doesn't care who is there. I remember my father's neighbor, because it was my father's house, our neighbor, very fair Igbo woman. The baby came at night, her husband was not around. She was knocking her door. She couldn't climb up again, so she was just hitting her door so that somebody would hear the sound. And she was shouting, Apostle, my father, Apostle, Apostle. So my daddy ran out, and we all went there, the guys and 2 women. So when we saw her, she was naked. And the women said, cover yourself. I said, no, who was that? Carry me. Carry me. Don't carry me to the hospital, Apostle. Just carry me. You are naked. No. They were trying to cover her with the pressure of delivery, the pressure of time. You need to carry that sense of urgency. You don't have time for the things you have time for right now. I tell people, I can check your commitment to purpose by the things you do at those times when you don't have time. And those things those things you do at those times when you have time. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'll check your commitment to purpose by those things you do at those times when you have time, and at those times when you have free time. You see, when you have free time, it's even the sweet ones. So when you have free time, exam is over, what do? That's the time to flex. Travel from place to place, visit uncles. You don't have time to be directionless. Why is it that people don't pursue their purpose? Number 4, they are courageless. They lack courage. Step out in courage. Now you know how. You care so much about it. But a lot of people they are sitting down at that junction of courage. Oh yeah, start. My sister was there. She just shared her story. Oh yeah, start now. I don't know how. Money for logo. Venue. This one. Start. Mine was kind of tough, because I was already in oil and gas. A lot of parents are praying. A lot of students in schools on campus are praying to be. I was in China National Petroleum Corporation, the NNPC of China. And as their staff, I was deployed to Shell as a seismologist. Some of you are calculating the money in your head already. I know. And I left it. To pursue something I do not know. So Genesis chapter 12 says, leave Abraham, leave your father's house, your mother's house, to a land that I will show you. So Manoah meets Abraham on the way and say, Abraham, where are you going? I don't know. You know, wouldn't it be easy if you tell me where you're leading me to? So I can tell people when they ask me, now where are you going? I say, oh, I'm going to become something like this. But you just step out and you are clueless of where you're going. Just following by faith. You are dancing to those readings from afar. Other people cannot hear you. But the tunes you are dancing to is being played somewhere. And you're just following. You're carefully listening to that tune. Not distracted by anything. It takes courage to walk on water. No matter who has called you, it takes courage to step out. So some people, you know, you care. You know what you're meant to be doing, but courage to, oh yeah, stand up and do it. I left oil and gas. I went back to my father's house. I left from someone who used to send my niece 30K. Just take 30K. To borrowing 20 naira from her. And I will borrow her, and she knows I will not return. Because I don't have. And one day I met her crying in the corner of her room. And I called her, Bolu, you know, what is wrong? Why are you crying? I said, she's just bothered. What went wrong with me? She was crying for me. And I told her, oh, don't cry for me. Like Jesus, who for the joy that was set before him. I know where I'm going. Today, by the grace of God, it's all story. The first money that will land in my hand was from Kwara State government. They just needed 4 people to be on a consulting team. And I was the youngest. The next person to me then, 2008, was 40. It was a press conference, TV people. And I went back home. And that's that 30K again. You need to take courage to pursue that thing God has shown you. You don't have time to be lily-livered. Sometimes you need to believe that no matter the economy of the jungle, lion will not eat grass.
Yes, sir.
You just need to know. You need to hope against hope. You just need to be there. That this thing is what I've been made for, and this is what I will pursue. If he made me to do this, he will provide for what I will do, for what I need. So, before Techno put their names on this phone, they tested it in the factory. He succeeded, this thing succeeded in the factory. Before they put their name on it and sent it to the world, now everybody start buying. You succeeded there before he sent you here. So failure is not an option. If you fail, it is not a factory thing. It's a function thing. Number 5, and that's where I'll stop. A lot of people do not pursue their purpose because they can't focus. They are focusless. Distractions all over the place. This is an information age, yet we have the largest number of idiots that have no clue about the things they are meant to do. It's like, sometimes I feel like Paul talking to those current people that, see, you guys, you think you know, but you don't know as you ought to know. It's junk and jargon distracting us from those things that matter. And that is why I said, if there's anything you need to chase, one is intentionality and essentialism. You need to be intentional with your time, with your money, Peter Drucker, the father of management, he said, to check a commitment of any person, individual, any organization to anything, you check it through their time use and their money use. What do you do with your money? What do you do with your time? In class, I do some time exercises that will scatter your mind. You see, this thing we call New Year is a lie. In the long run, by the time we finish the math, many people don't have 1 month. What do you do with your time? Game of Thrones, season 1 to 8. I didn't have issues with that one. There's this one Filipino movie. They are not speaking English. You sit down and watch 7 seasons. You are reading subtitles. You are not reading subtitles. I don't get it. You need to check your time. What are you doing with your time? What are you doing with your money? Because a lot of times you make money even with your time. So money is time squared. It's time and time again. You need to get some focus. Get some grip on yourself. Don't run in cycles. Just following as it comes. How you did? We did, my brother. Next year, how you did? We did, my brother. Another term or another semester. How you did? My brother, we did. They're just running in circles. Nothing meaningful has come out. Don't be clueless. Don't be careless. Don't lack direction on how to do it. Don't lack focus. I know after now you will discover it. But my joy is not in the fact that you have discovered purpose. My joy is in the development and the deployment. Because discovery is phase 1. My workers here will do that. But how do you deploy? How do you develop yourself? She told you her story. She took how many years to learn, to gather knowledge, that gather daggers for those things she wants to master. Take courage. You need to discover purpose. You need to commit to purpose. You need to develop yourself in purpose. You need to become intentional and essential with your purpose. On Amazon alone, there are over 150,000 books on purpose. That should tell you something. It's a topic you shouldn't neglect. That you are here, you have done yourself a great good. I want to thank Pathfinder Initiative again for this time. My time is up. You can get the CDs of finding your way, particularly in the line.